fix that. All right, how are we doing now? Do y'all hear us? Nah. All right, let's see. Let's see. Y'all are bad lip readers, is all I'll say. Y'all speak. Make sure they can hear all three of us. They hear us. They hear us all. I'm not sure about the desktop audio because I think OBS screwed that one up. Do y'all hear Wholesome or Paul? Paul, you talk. Say something to them. All right, let's make sure they can hear one. You had one job. And that ain't me. That OBS, man. That ain't me. That's my streaming service. Come on, man. As I was saying, New School K's back here, episode 9. I hope everyone's having a great evening tonight. It's a great day to be in Miami Hurricane. We're going to start off the ground limping, but we're going to start running now. Our sound is back. First topic, and I'm going to hit it off today. I want to talk about Miami and your expectations, y'all's expectations for their accomplishments. Now, we've talked about seasons, predictions, records, and all that, 9-4, 10-3, whatever it may be. We can talk about it, play that violin so many times, but I want to talk about accomplishments, statements and goals that Miami should have as a team in general that we want to see met, and if they are not met, then it won't be what we need, you know? It's saying they can't hear y'all. Well, let me do something here for a second. I'm gonna do this, guys. All right, y'all can't hear everyone. I'm gonna make sure it works for sure. I'm gonna restart it. It's gonna be back in like 3 seconds. So give me one button press. All right, give me a sec. All right, y'all should be able to hear everybody. Let me know in the chat down below. We're gonna be watching it. If everyone can hear both me and Paul and Wholesome One. All right, let us know. So, as we were saying, we're going to be talking about Miami goals and accomplishments. And so, mic check. Yeah, go ahead.
Check, check, check.
Paul?
Can y'all hear me?
Can you guys hear me?
All right, we should be able to be working.
I think we're good.
I see my bars going everywhere. Everything should be working. Y'all let us know in the chat. But, do y'all want to answer this one first, or do y'all want me to answer this one first?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
All right.
I feel like you never go first.
Go ahead, are we?
Because I've been thinking about this one, and I'll let y'all come up with your ideas. So, I think the first goal, first of all, it'll be a failure of a season if Miami does not win the Coastal. I'm sorry. With this hype, you have to win the Coastal. Y'all saw definitely, I'm sure, the polls, preseason polls for who's favored to win the Coastal. Virginia. I mean, that should set a fire to Miami's team saying Virginia is better than Miami in football. Not basketball, in football. I mean, that's just unacceptable. And so I think that's not goal number one. You have to win the Coastal. Number 2, I would say, is you have to win one rivalry game. You got 2 opportunities for major rivalry games. You got to win one of those. You lose both of those this season, and where Florida State is at, that is a failure, in my opinion, for this season. You have to have those 2. And the third one that I would meet up with that is make an appearance on primetime television twice. And what I mean by that is, if you lose, okay, lose by 3 points. Lose by a touchdown. Lose by an effort play. You know, don't be on primetime TV against the Gators or where it be whatever our rankings at the end in the ACC Championship. I don't want to see him limping away from a big-name team, where it be Clemson or it be the big rivalry against Florida State. If we do that, don't do that. If every time we come away we're limping, because last year, Wisconsin, you know, we were limping away. The first game, LSU, we looked like we were limping. I mean, every single time we had a big game, we were limping away, and then we lost to unacceptable teams. And I think that's got to change with this hype. I'm not saying every single game that's big game Miami's going to win, but if you're in it, show the fact that the Feely effect is real on field. The Diaz work ethic is real on the field. And then I think if you meet those 3 goals, to me, this season would be a success.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Y'all got anything to change to add to that?
Yeah, I got a couple things to add. Wholesome, you can go first if you want.
Okay. I agree with almost, I would say probably about 90% of what you said. My thing as far as Miami, a successful season, to me, it has to be a fight in every single game. Like I said, I agree with what you said before. Um, I don't care if it's Florida first game. I don't care if it's in Chapel Hill or in their blackout game. I don't care if it's my particular trap game, Virginia Tech this year, uh, or Georgia Tech. We have to look good all 12 regular season games. Um, that's my main thing. If we just so happen to lose, let it be in a dog fight against a quality opponent. I'm tired of having dog fights with Duke, dog fights with UVA, dog fights with Georgia Tech. If you think about roster wise, there's no reason why the University of Miami shouldn't average 9 wins per season with the talent we have walking around the streets down here in Miami, Florida. And one thing about Manny Diaz is he's bringing that energy uh, and a standard back to the University of Miami and holding guys accountable to meet that standard. I think that was the difference because Mark Richt, yeah, he said a lot of good things. He was a good interview. Dude, was he really the guy to take us to the next hump? And I think that with Manny Diaz, he has to show that he's more Lincoln Riley than he is Kirby Smart. What that means is he has to have a great first season, not just keep it trucking. He has to have a great first season. Take that next step. Because then we're basically saying we got a younger Mark Richt all over again if we're going back to just barely winning games and winning 9 games with this horrible schedule.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna inject Buddy with the $5 donation, saying keep it up and the sticker and little YouTube thing. Thanks so much, man, Buddy. I appreciate it. I think you donate to every live stream, man. I appreciate you and all the others in the chat. I'm watching it. I'm seeing y'all are saying. And Dickweed5050 mentioned an interesting question. If we we win the Coastal, but we go 8-4, is that a successful season? In my opinion, no, and I
No,
don't think that's even
No,
possible
no.
because
absolutely not.
those 4 losses, that means probably both of them are two rivalries, and then the other two are two ACC opponents that are really, really low. I don't see those 4 losses being possible for us to win the Coastal, honestly, when it comes to that point, because Florida State is ACC also opponent, so that would be 3 losses. Well, that's just unacceptable. You can't have an 8-4 season. I don't no. Paul, go ahead. I'm
Bro,
sorry to interject.
hold on, Paul. What is this 8-4 thing I'm hearing about? Everyone keeps bringing up 8-4.
I
Like, yo,
agree.
It's the ESPN power
ESPN.
power rankings. What is it, BPI or whatever they call it, Power Index. So they use this Power Index, whatever the calculator is, and in their Power Index calculator, they predict Miami to go 8-4. That is ESPN's prediction, dropped about 2 weeks ago. So that's where they predict this. Now, you going like that? Last season we were predicted to go 10-2, I think, on the BPI. That was with LSU,
Right.
and honestly a tougher schedule last year compared to this year. I mean, at least the same. And they're saying 10-2 with Malik Rozier as quarterback. So, yeah, you go and consider the BPI or whatever Power Index as much as you want. I saw some
Paul,
teams on there. That's just
I have a lot to say, but out of respect, I'm gonna go ahead and let you do your response, and then we'll talk about it after.
we'll
'Cause
round
that,
around.
that is
We'll round around.
wow.
So I'm glad Wholesome One mentioned this about our talent. And I as well am sick and tired of us playing close games and playing to the level
Mm-hmm.
of intermediate ACC Coastal or ACC teams in general.
Yeah.
I want us to start blowing out opponents in the ACC by 40. There's no reason why we shouldn't go into Chapel Hill and win by 30 against a team that's only won 5 games in the past 2 years. There's no reason why we should be competing with Duke, Georgia Tech.
Oh my
We have more
God.
talent than Virginia and Virginia Tech combined. Okay? 10-plus wins, win the bowl game, and compete against Clemson is a successful season. If we get blown out by Clemson in Florida and we're still competing with teams in the ACC Coastal, it's a close game where we have to win by a late touchdown or a Darrell Langham miracle catch, then this is not the new Miami.
Yeah.
Okay? We're just kind of we're backtracking. We need to win 11 games. Okay, lose to Florida in a dogfight and win your bowl game and have another dogfight against Clemson, whether we win or lose. That is showing signs of the new Miami. But there is no reason why we should lose to anyone in the ACC or Florida State. I truly do think we need to win that game, and it's going to be a failure if we do lose to Florida State. It's not the new Miami. So
Absolutely. Another thing I will have to say is, um, an early season loss to Florida, I'm going to be angry, but I could take it. But if you're telling me of November 5th, that means the team is at it's peaking. It's towards the end of the season. This is the best football that we should be playing. And
absolutely.
we would only prove that the two W's we got were flukes. A miracle Hail Mary, a fade route, and a comeback by 1 point against one of the worst teams in college football.
Yeah.
And see, my thing is, let's also think about this. Even with Tallahassee as bad as they were, when they played Clemson, it wasn't a blowout until the second half.
Right.
Those type of things, it doesn't sink into my mind how the University of Miami can go out and play subpar. Every time we played a quality team, we don't play well.
Right.
But a sorry team can go out there and give their effort. Louisville played Alabama and lost, 38-10? You couldn't tell me if Miami played Alabama, we probably would lose 45 scud. 58-0. It's like when we get on that big time stage, when it's time to step in the paint, we don't show up. And it's crazy. I hate to be Mr. Negative, but I'm sitting here and I'm going back and watching film and I'm like, yo, when was the last time we played to the talent and played like Miami Dogs? Notre Dame 2017? That's creeping closer and further and further and further away from being the norm. And it's making it seem like that game was an anomaly.
Yeah.
You're telling me once every decade we're going to have one of those games where we play great? We can't keep doing stuff like that.
True.
Yeah, and the one thing I will mention I think is part of it too in the past couple of seasons is losing streaks. It has always been not one loss, but several in a row that happened in the past couple of years, like 4 to 5 in a row.
Yeah.
It's like hump, and that's got to stop. You got to learn how to rebound from a loss and fuel yourself and change what's got to be fixed. And part of that, I think, is the coaching staff. The coaching staff did not analyze the failures that they had last game and correctly adapted to them, but continued doing what they did, thinking that success would come about eventually because they were set in their ways. And I think that had to happen, and that change was not happening with whatever regime you wanted to put in. It was a huge thing, I think, for Al Golden. He had his standard and type of football and how he wanted his players to look. And Mark Richt and the style that he wanted to play that he was used to working 10, 15 years ago before today. So, but what Diaz said today, I think it was today on one of the networks, was something very interesting. He said, look, the work of a head coach is being a problem solver. And the problem solving doesn't come before the game. Yes, there's your highlights, you game film, and you strategize and you have your plan. But once you get into the heat of the moment, that's it. You're going to have problem here, problem there, problem here. And how you analyze that problem and solve it is how you end that day victorious or not. And I think that kind of a guy, because, you know, if y'all remember, like, go all the way to, like, Auburn, Florida State in the championship game, Jimbo pulling out a fake punt, that's a problem solve. That's a huge momentum move, you know. That was, like, 5 years back, I guess now, 6. And things like that you see in great coaches. Dabo, what he did, going for it on 4th, I believe, had a time. You know, switching it up and things. Or Alabama, Saban switching up quarterbacks at halftime. Are you kidding me? Like, these power moves are something Miami has not. I don't remember sitting down and watching TV and saying, whoa, we just did that. That's surprising. And it paid off. That was smart. The only time I see whoa is like 3rd and 18 and we decided to run it. Like, okay, that's a whoa in the wrong direction. Diaz, however, I think with Diaz, he's got some cojones, okay? I think this guy's going to make some moves that we're not going to be expecting during the games that's going to get us over that losing streak issue. Rodney King, I appreciate that with a $2 tip. saying loving the show with 3 hands up in the U. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What are your guys' thoughts on that and the staff and the losing streaks issue?
You know what? I think we're really dead right now. We need to have some energy about ourselves. Okay, let's. It's our training camp starts on Friday, guys. Friday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a team that can really go out here and show everybody that not just the U is back, but it's just hashtag TNM, the new Miami.
Yeah.
There are some things that will look different when it comes to University of Miami this season. We are not going to go out here and get blown out. We're going to fight. We're finally built for 5 quarters. Buddy brought that up. Built for 5 quarters. We have a strength and conditioning coach who is ready to really take his step to take it to the next level, dog. The transformation of all our players is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch that.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to correlate to on the field? Of course. How many times mid-second quarter was Jer Williams and he still would go out there making plays?
Yeah.
How many times did you see Mike Pickney's gut poking out of his jersey? Now the guy has a 6-pack. Shaq Quarterman at 235 is our starting middle linebacker instead of 250, 260 he was the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Things are starting to change at the University of Miami, and I get excited thinking about it because no matter what happens August 24th, we finally have a coach that's not going to let one loss turn into 3, 4, 5, 6 losses afterwards. If we go out there to the Florida game and we just so happen to lose, it won't be in a blowout, and I promise you'll have a team that's out there that won't lay down, that won't just say, all right, you guys can run it for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns on the first half. Nah, that's not happening. These men are going to be prepared to go out here and fight. There's a great combination in the energy around the University of Miami of strength conditioning class. A recruit, Jer Williams, a recruit spoke about one of the reasons why he picked Miami over SEC Florida, SEC Georgia, Texas A&M, LSU, is the mindset of the coaching staff that he's talked to now as opposed to the coaching staff he spoke to under Mark Richt.
Yeah.
Saying that they were more focused. He could hear in the background with every conversation players in the weight room, players in the sofa. He could hear them in the background running and throwing catches and getting hyped and competing against each other with no coaches around. That's the type of winning culture that the University of Miami was built on to become great. And yes, we can't do things like we did in the 80s. We can't do things like we did in the 90s. We can't even do things like we did in the early 2000s. But what we can do is be the 2019 Canes and be Manny Diaz's version of what this picture can be. And a lot of players are buying into it. You got recruits who are juniors right now to be seniors buying into it. The only thing left to do is win games in the season. Once we can do that, we'll really turn around for the 2020s moving forward and have Miami in that top 10 conversation like they should be year in and year out, but not just in July, not just in August. We're going to be in the top 10 conversation come January and December.
Yes.
That's where you want to be talked about in the top 10. You want to be you don't want to be a paper team. Oh, we have all these stars and we can do this and we can. No. No one knew who Quentin Williams was until last season. You know what he did? He went out there and did it on the football field and turned into a top 3 round draft pick. And you can't tell me Nestor Silvera, John Ford, and guys like that can't do the same if they go out there and dominate the competition that's in front of us and let people know the ACC Coastal is trash. And Miami will be undefeated in ACC Coastal for the next 2-3 years. And we're going to show that it is trash.
Yeah. It's got to happen. You can't have a coach coming out after a Duke game and say, you know what, they're a pretty good team. Hats off to them. What? Okay, no disrespect, but what? You lost to Duke.
Disrespect. No, all disrespect. He should not be on the same field with the University of Miami. And I'm tired of having players on scholarship getting a scholarship for $50,000 a semester to go out there and lose to Duke in football and think it's okay.
That whole
think Florida would think it's okay to lose to Duke? These people make it They feel disrespected to lose to Kentucky, to Missouri. You think we could go play those teams? No, we'll go in there and be scared under Mark Richt. We think it's okay to be in a game with Virginia. You think Florida State or Clemson is going to play Virginia tough? Alabama? Heck, USC, Texas, Georgia? Because it's about the mindset and understanding. This team is trash. Treat them like they're trash.
Quote of the night, guys. This team is trash. Treat them like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. You got to come out with a mindset in your mind game like Nesta's been doing this. I'm winning this game, and I have put in the work beforehand to do this, and it's going to happen, you know? And Miami has come out to games in the second half with this, like, already defeated demeanor. It's got to change. It's got to stop. I'm with you. Paul, you got anything to add? I know you itchy to scratch him to say something.
I think it was very well said. Absolutely. 110% agree with Wholesome One. The players are around. They have Coach Diaz's back.
Right.
Coach Enos, whatever Coach Diaz laid out to him as a plan that he has here at the University of Miami, Coach Enos has bought in as well. It's not just the players, okay? And I'm telling you, I don't think as a fan base we can rave enough about what Coach Feely is doing in that weight room. You can just tell the difference with strength and conditioning. It's night and day. You know, it's very hard to rally around a coach like Mark Richt, who, like you said perfectly, Duke is a good team. This is Miami, okay? We don't compete with Duke in football. We embarrass them. And Coach Diaz understands that, and we are bringing it back this season. And we are going to see, guys, I guarantee you, a new Miami, okay? Coach Diaz is not a hypocrite. We will run up the score on opponents. I'm excited. I cannot wait. And look who we have leading this team. Look at our defensive leaders on the defensive side of the ball. Guys like Quarterman, Pickney, who've been a part of this program for 4 years.
Yeah.
You think they're going to leave their senior year going 8-4, 9-3? Highly doubt it.
You know,
Now, what does need to change is a leader in the quarterback room, because Malik Rozier was not a leader.
Yeah.
We need a vocal leader. We need someone to take charge. We need someone to put up big numbers. And I think that is going to be the biggest difference maker, looking overall from the past to now. You know, leader who on national stage is, you know, well recognized and can really do well at the college football level, and then get drafted in a good round.
You know, that's
You know what it's like to look on the sideline and see Malik Rozier, just this glazed look in his eye, like, I just threw 3 interceptions. Okay, guys,
Right.
Let's go out here and play. It's a football game.
Yeah.
This is 60 minutes of war.
Yeah.
60 minutes that you've been preparing for this for months. You've put all your time and effort. If you want to just be a guy who's lackadaisical, who doesn't care, NCAA has a football game that plays on the PS3, Xbox 360. Go ahead and chalk that up. It'll help you out real good. But when it comes to you going out there and putting on this you represent not only yourself, the last name on the back of your jersey, but the players who have come here for decades. And they don't take losses. To them, it was either national championship or failure. I hate to hear people come on here and say, oh, you have to be realistic. It's his first year. Realistic is a mindset. It's not saying we don't have FIU talent and go play in the national championship. We have stars on this team that could play across the country anywhere.
Yes.
I'm tired of us lowering and demeaning ourselves to say, oh, well, you know, hopefully we can win 9, maybe 10 games. No. You have the talent, and most people say we're a quarterback or offensive line away from being a national championship team. Instead of saying that, say we're a mindset away from being a national championship team. Because there's 3 stars that can go out there and outbeat a 5-star. Clemson had a walk-on wide receiver that was bombing Alabama DBs for 2 straight national championship games. You think he cared about what the 5-star first-round draft pick that was in front of him? No. He went out there and proved it. You got to line up and beat me. And you have to have 22 men. You have to have 30. You got to have there's 64 scholarships. Players who have that mindset. You can't just have Nestor Severa and Shaq, maybe Tate and Jeff Thomas, who all have the mindset that we can go undefeated.
Right.
It needs to be the entire team, regardless of what fans say, regardless of what teams chant when we're stretching, regardless of what ESPN says, that the University of Miami is back to kicking people in the temple. And if you just so happen die, he dies.
That was so well said. And one thing I think that was huge, and you mentioned a little bit on, is our sideline demeanor, our vocal leadership, our mindset has got to change. I've seen too much on Miami's sideline when we're losing. Not a single guy getting up to other guys and hyping them up. We've seen a little bit more of that on the defensive side and saying, yo, dog, we've been put in bad situations, but that's still not our level. That is still not our level. We need to not be able to allow them to score. And now, defense is coming out after that, which our defense has been national championship caliber for the past 2 years. And that side of the ball is coming out in interviews after the game. They're saying, so what's up? Why did you lose? And they wouldn't be losing because we didn't score a dang point against Virginia. They're going to be saying, we let them score. That was our problem. Yeah, we were starting at the 20-yard line on the opposite field. But that should not be acceptable at Miami. It's the Miami Hurricanes defense against Virginia. That's unacceptable. That's our fault. That mindset needs to be across, like you said, not just 3 players, Jeff Thomas over here, Nestor Silvera there, and a linebacker Shaq here. It's got to be a team mindset. And the other thing that has been huge to me, and it doesn't have to happen to be a success, but I've seen it time and time after again. When a team has a vocal leading quarterback, it changes games. It changes teams. It changes mindsets. It changes the momentum. When you see your guy leader vocally getting onto players or saying, I'm wrong, I threw an interception. Going immediately, like you said, Rozier's just sitting there. I threw 3 interceptions, just kind of passive. You look at other teams, what are they going? They're going to their coaches. They're to the QB coach. They're pulling up that tab. They're looking at that film. They're saying, what coverage did I miss? Which was this guy? They're going to their wide receivers. Hey, man, help me out on this and that, And you saw a little bit of that with Perry going on, getting onto wide receivers, saying, catch the dang ball. Help me out, man. I'm throwing these darts, And Rick just kind of not exactly putting him in situations to be winning with that. But you saw a little bit of that. I want to see whoever it is, whether it be Perry or Jared or Tate, to be loudmouth leader football mentality, okay? And you can't be a leader if you don't work, okay? You can't be a loud leader and saying, oh, do this, oh, do that, yet you're throwing 3 interceptions, you're not in the workout room, you're not in the practice facilities, and you don't have the work ethic, you're just a party city guy, okay? You have to be a vocal leader through and through in your work ethic. And Diaz, we forgot about this, but earlier on in the season, the first thing that Diaz did when he went to that meeting with his team, he said, we're going to have groups and we're going to have leaders, and y'all are going to be accountable to these leaders. He's putting players in leadership roles and positions with responsibilities to say, you're not going to let your teammates go sagging shoulders down, dazed out, stopping effort later in the season, because this leader is going to be on top of you. And these guys outside of the program that are built this wrong, the alum are going to be on to you. And him saying over and over that the alum own this program has been huge to me, because, and he mentioned something interesting, it's one thing for your coach or your teammate to say, hey, come on, man, get your stuff together, put in more effort, or a Jonathan Vilma texting or calling you and saying, hey, what's going on? That this guy that's proven, done it in the NFL, and him looking at you and, being an ESPN analyst, a scout, knowing what it means to be successful in this job line and career, and what it means to represent the U and the brotherhood, Brian McKinley, the guy that's been on the O-line, a solid legend. He's been working with these guys in the offseason right now. You think he's going to be sitting on his couch right now and seeing an offensive line not getting production, not giving the quarterback time to play, and not talking to them after that? He's going to be on their butts more than anybody else. And I want to see more of that and work transpire from that, and not just this sagged off, lackadaisical, shy look, but some leadership, some fierce leadership and vocal attitude needs to be happening on the sideline.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and let you go in the second poll, but let me cut up while I cut up. I think that leadership can be misconstrued when being vocal and being non-vocal. Okay, now there's a difference between you got your, and I hate this guy with a passion. the OU quarterback that's with Cleveland now. What's that
Baker
guy's
Mayfield.
name? I hate him. I hate him so much. You have that guy who he comes and he does crotch chops and he's like slit throats and it's over and he, all this type of running all over the field and planting flags and yeah, that stuff looks cool, but you see what happened when he played a big time school, they shut all that up. Anyway, um, you have vocal players like that. Then you have the Johnny Manziel guys who it's all about them type of thing. Um, my thing is, I want more of a Tua Tagovailoa leader, to where he's not down talking you or chewing you out, but he cares about it. He threw a pick six, third play of the game against Clemson. He comes to the sideline, he's pointing. That's on me. That's on me. Hold up, we're gonna go back out here. 4 plays later, they scored a touchdown, tied the game. Yeah, they got blown out, but that's the type of leadership I want to see from a quarterback. There's plenty of times that I saw Stephen Morris is a guy recently. He was like a really vocal and he a little brash at sometimes, but he would get on our players when he got to the sideline.
Yeah.
Not necessarily chewing them out, but forcing them to do the right things and be in the right position. Um, I think Tate or Nkosi would be the two that could be maybe vocal. Jaron, I think, is more of those guys that would come and just, pat him on the helmet and say, hey, if you want to play here, you have to do this. And he would just walk away. Um, those are the type of things that I want to see change. And I agree with you about it changing at the University of Miami because there's one thing for players to care, and there's one thing for coaches to care, and there's one thing about fans, there's one thing for alumni to care. But when you put it all together in one big pie, everyone cares to the point where the alumni, just like you talked about, are coming back and helping. Not just giving their money, they're giving knowledge. They're going out and doing drills. They're going out and doing film analysis. John Beeson doing film analysis with Shaq and Mike Pickney. That's the type of stuff that I want. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you could know where to go, but you still got to be able to go make the play. And that's how things, as far as the players doing extra work, comes in. You can have the greatest football IQ, but can you get there to make the play? Is
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
And the comment section, they got some things that they're saying in here that are way out of bounds. But we'll get to those guys. Go ahead,
Ooh.
Paul.
No, I completely agree, 100% agree with Wholesome One. I actually think maybe one of the reasons why Jaron is kind of a little bit out of the quarterback race is because he doesn't have those leadership attributes he's shown during the spring. You said like a silent leader, kind of like Tua Tagovailoa, who's very confident. Then there's the other leader like Baker Mayfield, who's going to talk a lot of crap and then back it up. And I want either one of those leaders. I just want whoever's in that quarterback room, whoever's under center, to be the leader of the team. And when we lose a game, let's bounce back, man. Because, man, these losing streaks are not pretty. It just shows a very undivided team. And I truly think last year the team was completely divided.
Oh, yeah.
The defense and the offense.
Oh, yeah.
And Coach Rick is there, just his passion's not in it anymore, And, man, I think we're going to see a lot of things changing. And I think in the back of our heads, too, as fans, we've always wanted our coaches to utilize players to their skill set. And the only coach who really does that is Coach Diaz, And so when we see guys like Mark Pope, Jeff Thomas, KJ Osborne, I think we're going to see now with Coach Enos that he's going to play to their skill set, and it's going to pay off. Everything that we've always wanted is going to be heard.
Definitely.
Because we finally have a great offensive mind in football, and I'm excited. I really am excited. I think it's going to be a special season, guys. I really do. There's just something in the air, and I think we're gonna upset a very good team. I don't know if it's gonna be Clemson or Florida, but I'm gonna bet we're gonna upset one of those two teams.
Wow. Okay. I will say one thing, and I agree exactly what you said there, and it's, catering to the player personnel, which it's going to be huge, and fall camp is coming up to figure out what that player personnel is. It's got to be, you got to get time to prepare. We're week 0. We're not week 1, okay? We don't have as much time as everyone else fall camp starts for us way earlier than anyone else. And you
Yeah.
mentioned the quarterback, so I'm going to get into it. And people are going to like it or not. We might get at each other, but I'm going to talk on it. So you talking about, silent leader in Jared, or, lethal and vocal and be Tate, or, or a team guy, whatever. And we're definitely not forgetting Perry, of course. Here's something I want to remind you guys. I don't know what's going on with the news. Maybe this is just my perspective. But for the past 2 or 3 weeks, we have now assumed that Tate and Perry are the only two guys competing. And we have a 50-50 huge, definitely Tate, no question about it. Perry's garbage. Or on the other side, definitely Perry, no question about it. Tate is overrated. And then the 1% weirdo me saying, oh, what about Jared? Guys, Diaz has said, I don't know if you have noticed, 2 weeks of fall camp are going to be all 3 quarterbacks rep. What that tells me is the fact that this competition is open as can be. I don't care what you thought you saw in spring practice with Jared not being good in this in game time, or Tate not throwing long balls, or Perry not being consistent, whatever it may be. There's not been a single thing that one quarterback has proven them above everyone else. So this fall camp is going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting. And don't you forget about any player outside of the quarterback room. We're discounting other players already in the secondary, because that is a competitive position group right now. Or, we're throwing up other guys in the D-line or whatever. Do not forget, there's the work that they've been doing in the offseason is going to be huge. And this coaching staff is going to have some big decisions to make. But it's going to be obvious, I think, after 2 weeks, who's been putting in the work and who's going to be ahead of the rest of the guys. And so we're thinking, now I'm going to do my argument for Jared, and then I'm going to let you guys do your arguments. Jared has got he's the perfect practice quarterback. On and on, we see this guy zip and throw balls perfectly, while the rest are just throwing this, a flash play. He's been consistent in practice. His huge deal is he cannot play in game environment. It seems like something's like the spring game scrimmages, you looked at him and Jared was just not that guy. And it seems like we kept on throwing these guys over and over. But I'm telling y'all, if this guy can get it together to when it comes game time scrimmage and the pressure in his face does not bog his throwing abilities, this guy can be consistent to throw it to playmakers. You got to utilize your playmakers. You don't need flash highlight film from just one guy. You have a team. Utilize your tight ends. Utilize your wide receivers. Get those throws, deep balls, so then after that, your running game can start going. And you have a Lingard running around, Harris running around, DJ Dallas. This is something that's got to evolve and happen. Jaron should not be discounted. He didn't break an arm in the past 2 weeks. He didn't stay in the Miami program to waste another year. If he'd have transferred, he'd have known that, I got no chance here. There's a reason he's staying here, and there's a reason he still has a chance in 2 weeks of fall camp. Expect all 3 of the quarterbacks to give it their all, and this competition to be heated.
Honestly, I've been thinking about this for a while. I don't mind now having package plays for Tate Martell. I really don't mind that at all. Now, to kind of have my what I think will happen in the fall.
Somebody's
Coach
IQ
Enos
went up.
Oh, okay.
I'm open to it. I think it can be very effective. But guys, one thing, look out during the fall camp. I want to see this during scrimmages, if they report it or not, because they could have closed scrimmages, and then who knows what happens in the scrimmage. We won't be able to see it. But I think Coach Enos is not going to have Tate Martell go under center. I think he was challenged to go under center during the fall, and I think he's really going to play to his skill set. He's going to put him in the shotgun formation, and he's going to put him in situations where he's going to succeed. And I do think the offense can flow well with Martell in playing to his talent. I really do. And look out for that in the fall if they put Martell in a successful position. And Perry, I do think if he does well first scrimmage and he plays the best, he will be named the starter whenever they name him. Whether next week, after the week after, or the week after the next week. I think if Perry wins the first scrimmage and plays the best, I think they got to go with him.
All right, Wholesome, you got your chance now. You can go off on us and how our quarterbacks are absolute garbage.
I could take the high road and do things respectfully
Nah,
and
not man. I want you to let her
you
rip. Fall
know,
camp is coming up. Let her rip, man.
no. Listen. First off, let's get this understood. Dan Enos is such a great offensive coordinator. He will not put Tate Martell in a position to fail. So all the things that people can bring up about Tate Martell not being good enough, his arm strength is not this, him under center that, him having to stroll out to the right this. Dan Enos gets paid millions of dollars and knows more about football than anybody on YouTube can really talk about.
Yeah.
Even the great host one myself with the very high football IQ I have, Dan Enos has 2 decades plus on me that even I couldn't even break down a defense or an offense the way he could. So let's get that
Absolutely.
understood. All right. This man is going to put Tate in position. Tate Martell was 48-0 in high school. Yes, he had a lot of talent. But let's also think about this. Tate Martell played a lot of those good big time teams. Bishop Gorman has a nice schedule.
Yeah.
They play IMG. They play St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
They play teams in Texas. They go to California and play teams. De La Salle. Okay? So it's not like he was playing sorry teams.
Mm-mm.
Right.
And no quarterback in the state of Florida could say they went 48-0 in 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even the IMG teams could say they've gone undefeated for 4 seasons.
Right.
Okay? Jer Williams brings to the table that consistency, solid arm, accuracy, and a quarterback who's more pro ready than everyone else. He's the wild card because nobody knows much about him. He has 3 career passes at the University of Miami against Savannah State, who will be walk on players at the University of Miami. But Jer Williams was going to transfer out, stuck it out, and now he's going to be a part of the quarterback battle. N'Kosi Perry, the guy who I personally think will win the job, has turned around his maturity, has focused in on what could make him the better quarterback. He's prepared to be in the QB battle. He looked the best in spring, but spring ball victories don't amount to anything come August. People don't understand that. So all 3 quarterbacks bring something to the table. What is that?
I got someone calling in on the show, so I'm gonna keep him muted and let you finish, and then I want to hear
Oh.
what you
Okay.
say.
Okay. N'Kosi Perry has everything that he could bring to the table to win. He's slightly mobile, great rocket arm. Because I promise you this much: he won't under or overthrow Jeff Thomas. He will lead Jeff Thomas for touchdowns. And as much as we sit here and talk, dog, we don't know what these men are doing in the sofa. We do not know.
Yeah.
Tate Martell could upload a picture on the beach with his girlfriend, and people are coming out talking about he's not putting in work.
True.
You don't know if that
True.
man was in the sofa at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning working with his wide receivers.
Right.
We tend to knock down our own and say all this disrespectful stuff about other quarterbacks. Dog, they're hurricanes right now.
Yeah.
What's the point of knocking these people down? For what? And even I'm victim of it because I get a little upset when people throw Perry out there and bash Perry all the time. He's inaccurate. He can't read defenses. No, that stuff is not true. He played Division I football at the University of Miami. How can you say he doesn't know how to read defenses? That doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
He
Yeah.
knows how to read defenses. He has the arm. 40 drop passes. 18 of those walked out to go to the University of Georgia. But even then, the great Jeff Thomas had 9. So there's a lot of coaching. There's a lot of things that were done wrong with the University of Miami last year. And you know who gets to take the fall? N'Kosi Perry. Instead of this guy gets on here saying N'Kosi Perry didn't look like he cared about playing football when we played UVA, he got pulled out the game because the man was basically heartbroken because he just beat Florida State and then gets pulled out for making one mistake in the UVA game. Excuse me, 2. I think he threw 2 picks that game.
One of them weren't his fault though. They were like literally bouncing
Exactly.
in wide receivers' hands.
Exactly.
So it's
So
like,
I don't understand why he gets bashed so much. But all 3 quarterbacks, like I said, bring something to the table. I think under Dan Enos, all 3 could be successful and could win 9, 10, maybe 11 games at the University of Miami this season. Not next year, not 2 years from now. This season, all 3 quarterbacks can be successful for the University of Miami. And I'm tired of us bashing. No need to bash our quarterbacks, man. Whoever wins, they will earn the job.
Yeah.
Now, before I go on and let you get to the quarterback, I want to address um, the when you said all for 2 weeks, everybody will get first team reps. That's what you said,
Yeah.
Anton. And you were saying that you think because of that, that means that the QB battle is wide open. The QB battle has been wide open because Manny Diaz has said, and I quote, two people want this job. Two players want the job to be quarterback at the University of Miami. One guy needs the job. What he means by that is two guys that's going to be on the bench that wanted to be Miami Hurricanes starting quarterback, and there's one guy who needs it and would do anything to achieve it, and that's the guy who's going to be the starter.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I feel like it's just been these past couple weeks that we have forgotten that this job is not won. It's got to be proven and worked for and won for. And you're gonna have serious competition. Like none of these guys are just simple walk-ons. This isn't a Proctor battle versus Rozier. Okay, like this is the top guys in their respectable classes. I mean, Tate Martell, we've seen plenty of him, but we forget Perry and what he did in high school with his recruiting base. I mean, this guy was wanted by everyone, a solid 4-star. Jaron as well. This guy was the one that was at competitions with Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, and he didn't look bad at all. But this is high school. We know that. We understand that. We're just saying the athleticism and talent is there. The coaching staff and Dan Enos, who led a Alabama team, is there. It's got to be. The only thing that's not there is time and work. That's the only thing. And we, as a fan base, get to sit back and enjoy and see that work reap the benefits. We don't see that work, though. And we're excited for fall camp because we will get to see where that work has led them. And I'm just itching for it. Now, I do have someone calling me in. I don't know who it is. They've been patiently waiting. I'm going to turn them on for all to hear. What do we have on the phone line here? Are you still there?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Who is this calling in?
Hello, I'm a new subscriber. My name is Miami Fanatics.
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's
What you want to
up?
talk about? You got any comments or
Welcome
something
to the
you want
show.
to say?
Good. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So first of all, just wanted to let you know that I love the series that's going on. You guys are fantastic.
Appreciate it.
But that being said, I do not know who's going to be a starting quarterback, but I do want to say this.
Okay.
If we are going to, the person that we need to pick is a person that's going to be in the film room, is going to be studying,
Yeah.
is going to be dedicated to the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If they're not willing to put in the effort, I don't want him as starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
Straight up.
Definitely.
I mean, this guy also has to have a passion for the game. If you look at all
Yeah.
the quarterbacks
Absolutely.
that have played in college, Vinny Testaverde, Jim Kelly,
Oh, yeah.
all these players. What were these players? These were players that were so passionate about the game, and
Passion.
that's what we need.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely need to see passion in the quarterback room, and it's something that we have not seen enough of, I don't think. And I won't throw it 100% on the quarterback, but as a program, we have failed to produce a quarterback with passion for the NFL draft in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we have failed at that level, and that is something that I believe we possess in the quarterback room, and we're excited to see who's put in that effort and get that over here. Some people are saying they can't hear the caller. Y'all should be able to hear him. He's on speaker everywhere there. I will say, who do you have up on your Fanatic? I know everyone's gonna talk about it since you call it. I'll let you have it. Who is your argument for which quarterback do you have a favorite and why?
Okay, so I know I have a skeptic and it's going to be Tate Martell.
Okay.
But that is not who I want. I want to see more out of Jer Williams.
Let's go. All right, Jer Williams. All right.
Jer Williams because he has the potential.
Yeah, he's definitely the pro-ready quarterback. I see what you're saying there, but I will say all three of these guys have potential.
Everyone has potential.
It's hard to say that a quarterback doesn't have potential. You know what I'm saying? You can't prove it. It's just the problem for Miami has been is on the field, man. We have not had this on the field where game time moments against rivalries where this potential is proved on the scoreboard. And I'm with you, man. Maybe we'll see. It may be Tate, maybe Jared, and probably Perry. We'll see. I'm excited, man. I appreciate you calling in and giving in your thoughts.
Yeah, I have a question though for each.
Yeah, go for it.
The three of you. All right. Before I hang up, so my question is, let's go to the wide receiver position.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to be our best wide receiver?
Okay, let's define and narrow that.
Why?
Best wide receiver. We're talking about like he's going to have the highest production stats, or is he going to be the guy that's, the most athletic and the scariest guy on the field? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Which one are we looking at? Are we talking about stats, pure stats, or just pure complete player?
Just, let's go performance-wise, besides Jeff Thomas.
Okay, besides Jeff Thomas.
I mean, he's going to be our best receiver, but...
Okay. So, next up, number 2 guy in stats production level, wide receiver. Okay. Right. Wholesome, you want to hit it off? I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear him, the one who's on the call. You have to have your YouTube going on for that.
I'm going to listen to YouTube.
Okay, great. Go ahead, Wholesome.
Simple answer would be KJ Osborne, but I'm going wild card Mark Pope, man.
Okay.
I think Mark Pope, I believe that KJ Osborne will probably lead the team in receptions.
Sure.
But as far as second statistically, I think Mark Pope out of the slot will be the guy that catches a lot of teams off guard. He'll probably hit that 600 mark at wide receiver.
All right. Paul, you want to go, or should I throw mine?
Yeah, I'll go out with a limb. I mean, the pretty obvious answer, I think everyone can agree, is KJ Osborne.
Sure.
But I think Jeremiah Payton.
Yes.
More advanced than Amon Richards was as a freshman so far. We've seen, I think physically and talently.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll have a better freshman season than Amon Richards. And I think he is going to play in the NFL, and he will get drafted in the second round. I got it.
Second round, man.
That's what I got. That's what I see from him. I think he's a very good player. I'm going to be very excited to see what he can do this season. I think he's going to be an instant impact player week 1 against Florida. Mark my word. He might even score a touchdown or 2 on it.
Okay. Wholesome, why are you laughing? Why are you cracking up like this? Is it the chat or is it Peyton? Because, my man, I got Peyton too. I got Peyton. Oh, man, I do, man. I do. I believe in him, man. I saw his production. He was out practicing all the other wide receivers, man. He was catching a dang ball. Like, what is it going to take to be the best wide receiver? Catching it. This guy, I mean, this is not to diss on the other players. This is not. It's just, to me, I see breakout potential in him. I see a work ethic, and I've just heard him in interviews and stuff. Something in him, like, he's got this passion spark to not give excuses for himself. Oh, I'm a wide receiver, but say, day one, I don't care. Mama taught me better. I'm giving this game my all, I'm going to win, and I'm going to show production. And I'm really excited about Peyton, man. I'm hearing huge news. I'm hearing the coaches a lot about him. He's my choice. And nothing against Pope. I love Pope. I wish we'd hear more noise from Hightower. I don't know what's going on there. But, yeah, Peyton's my guy.
I was not laughing at Jeremiah Payton. I'm actually reading the comments section, and George is in here saying some wild stuff, okay? And the timing of it was what was so bad.
I got you. So
and Dennis Wilson is cutting up on him.
Yeah,
so that's why I started laughing. But, in all honesty, Jeremiah Payton, I don't know about having a better season than Richards. Here's why. I think the two people who get the most targets will be Jeff and KJ.
Right.
Sure.
And the combination of targets and stats is very close. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
only some people like Jeff Thomas could have maybe like 16 receptions and dang near 1,000 total, yards because he's a deep threat.
Right.
Jeremiah Payton is more like a Stacey Coley type of guy to where he's
He's more-
possession, but he can also pull away to a certain extent because of the size.
He's bigger than Stacey Coley was as a freshman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But that's 6'1.5", 6'2" is what I'm saying.
Right.
As far as having freshman dynamic playability, yes. And even Stacey, to a certain extent, wasn't an off-season warrior. We didn't know he never was a camp warrior to where you're like, this guy is the greatest. He would just go out there and make plays in the games.
Yeah.
It's not a bad pick at all. But I like guys like D. Wiggins and Brian Hightower before I see Jeremiah Payton. And to me, that would only prove that there was a lot of favoritism at the wide receiver position. If Jeremiah Payton, at 17 years old, can come in and still rep from 4-star receivers like Brian Hightower, Mart, and D. Wiggins, in my opinion.
Do you think it's favoritism if he wins it?
No. I said it proves that it was favoritism last year.
I got you. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah, definitely. I don't think the player
there's
personnel.
no reason that Pages should have been starting that last year. To me.
No,
I'm huge on D. Wiggins too. I'm really high on D. Wiggins, but man, he's got to hold on to the football, catch it, or when he runs with it. I mean, he's got to catch the ball.
Period. I'm with you 100%. I'm still mad.
I think he's I think he has the highest ceiling, to be honest, than a lot of receivers we have in that room, man.
I think Mark Pope has Jerry Judy type of ceiling.
Yeah, I'm with you. If we're talking about ceilings, I think Pope has got. Gosh, he's got the quite one. Now, and this is discounting Jeff Thomas and KJ because we kind of assumed on them. Now, interesting other position group that I want to talk about, but we've hit our mark, and I wanted to say.
Is that guy still on the line?
No. He's not on the line. No, he threw up his question. He wanted to listen up. So, guys, everyone in the chat, we have 84 people watching us live.
87.
87, look at that. We're getting a record high, y'all. And I know what one of you 87 people are going to want to call in. So I'm opening the phone lines. Whoever I pick up first, y'all can go up, throw up your question. We'll all answer it. I'll hear your question, and we'll go on. Go on.
Yeah, you better call him with some energy, man. Get fired.
Yeah.
You on New School Canes.
Yes, sir. So here we go. Phone lines open. I'm watching y'all ring. Throw us your question and answers there. 87 people, y'all. Appreciate it so much. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. It's great to be a New School King, man. We're talking about optimism here. We're talking about guys getting improved on every single position group this coming season. I'm expecting huge stuff. All right, we got our call in. Here we go.
Call from.
All right.
Press 1.
All right, here we go. What is up? You're on the New School Kane Show. Who do we have on the phone line here? Someone else is trying to call me. I'm getting 5 calls. Oh my gosh. Are you there? Someone from California is on the phone line, but I don't hear you.
Press 2 to call.
All right, here we go. Who do we have here on the phone line?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Let's see if we can hear this one.
Next.
This is from Georgia. Hey, you're on the New School Kane Show. Who do we have here? I think I hear you.
Anton, this is Buddy Woodward, man. How are you doing?
Oh.
Hey, buddy. Hey, doing great, man. It's great to have you, man. A privilege. How are you doing, brother? What you want to talk about, man?
I am calling in to bring some energy to this chat room and rock the Miami Hurricanes right off the wall for the national championship, which we all know is coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm ready for the rings. I'm ready, man. I see it.
I want to see Holcomb do the championship national title dance.
Okay.
I want to see Paul doing the hokey pokey national ring dance. I want to see Bella with a brand new national championship collar.
Yes, sir. Oh man, I'm gonna deck that sucker out. Yes, sir. Yes. I can't wait, man. Oh, you better. We're ready for it, man. I see it. It's coming. And we're going to make sure to record the wholesome dance with Paul and the Hokey Pokey. Yeah.
If we win a national title, I'll do it shirtless. I don't care.
That was a lifetime moment in YouTube history.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Paul says he'll do it. He'll do the Hokey Pokey dance if we win the national championship.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Listen. I will say this
I'm going to get off the phone and let the next guy call in if they want to. I'm going to tell you guys I love the show. I love all three of you guys in a manly sort of way. You know how that goes.
Yeah, man. Hey.
Haynes family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate the love, man. All about
appreciate
you,
you,
man.
buddy.
Thanks so much.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, take care. Woo, man. Great to see your buddy, one of our huge supporters there. And yes, man, national championship coming up.
Dwayne Baker, thank you a lot, man. Highly appreciate the donation.
Salt Pick 150-year emblem on Florida's beginning from just saying, I like green on black and black on helmet shoes. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, we got another phone line call. Let's see if we can pick him up. I think this one's been calling me. All right. You're on the New School Kane Show. Who do we have on the line here?
This is Kyle.
Kyle, what's good, brother? How you doing today? Man, we got
Howdy, Kyle.
Pretty good. Got a couple questions.
Okay.
Shoot.
First and foremost, George is in the chat. Stop doing drugs.
Yes, sir.
What do y'all think about Dan Enos? I actually asked this question in the chat, and I had a couple people answer, but I don't think y'all saw it.
Okay.
How do y'all feel about Enos calling plays from the booth, or would you rather him be down on the field like he usually is?
Okay. That's an interesting question. Now, I will mention before I get into this, you probably won't hear Paul or Wholesome's response unless if you have YouTube running on the side. You'll hear me, but that's it. They can hear you, though. So, Wholesome, do you want to hit this one off first? What you think about Dan Enos, booth or on the field, and what you think of him in general?
Absolutely. Being a collegiate assistant coach, I've been in the booth and I've been on the field.
Yeah.
I think coordinators should be in the booth. You know how it feels to see these Big Ten teams, these SEC teams, and every time they talk about an OC or a DC, they're in the booth. Why? Because you get to see the entire field.
Okay.
You get to see from a Hawkeye's perspective how a defense lines up against an offense, and you might even be able to say, okay, we did this certain route combination.
Yeah.
And
route combination.
I can see it from up top. It's different when an assistant says it to an OC. Hey, you might want to throw a route in there that they didn't cover, as opposed to the OC himself seeing the play from up top and going, hey, if we go double slants and we motion our running back out and have him do a slot wheel route, and he's wide open because they're going man and they're slamming on that slant, it's a touchdown, no question. All we have to do is catch the football. Little things like that. And then I believe all coordinators, both offensive and defensive, because you can say, as a DC, you can go, oh, we almost hit home with that blitz. I'll save it for a key time in the game and come back to it because they didn't block it properly. We just didn't get there and make the sack. And I want to go back to that play because they lined up or they slid their offensive line a certain way. Okay, well, let's line up like we're blitzing from that side and then blitz from the opposite side because they're going to slide their whole offensive line to where we're showed from. And that's how you get to confuse the offensive coordinator if you're on defense, how you confuse the defense coordinator when you're on offense, because football is a game of chess, not checkers. And it's about how you put little pieces together and make one big picture based on the talent that you have and putting them in the proper position to make plays.
Okay. Good answer. Bird's eye view to see plays and OC eyes, none that an assistant can copy. That's an interesting one. Paul, what's your take on it?
No, I've always liked an defensive coordinator in the booth at all times. I've always
both
also
DC and
said
OC.
it perfectly. Always in the booth.
Had to get the Flanagan's cup back. Just had to
There you go.
The official sponsor of New School Canes, Flanagan's.
Yeah, I wish. We'll see.
Does no one think that we're gonna have 1,000
1,000-yard receiver this year?
Okay.
What did he say? I couldn't hear that. Really.
He's asking if we think there's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver or not this year.
Yeah,
Oh.
Jeff Thomas. Absolutely.
You'll say so. Paul says Jeff Thomas with 1K. Wholesome, I'm assuming. Are you going with Osborne for 1K or Jeff?
I personally don't think any wide receiver can get 1,000. I think they'll all have anywhere from 600 to 800 because I think we're going to spread the ball a lot, and I think we're also going to use our great tight ends so much.
Yes.
And it'll pull away from the numbers at wide receiver. We'll also be really good in the run game with such great running backs, and it's only it's only 60 minutes in most games. You know what I'm saying? And we don't play in the conference to where we play spread. We play spread. And we play against sorry defenses. No, it's too much talent around the field. It's too many players for us to focus in on one guy, no matter how good they are. I think we're going to spread the wealth with a great seasoned OC like Dan Enos. He tends to spread the wealth a lot. And like I said, tight ends and running backs will take away from the reception and yards that receivers would have in this offense.
Okay, so Wholesome says for you, Kyle, that he doesn't believe that any one person will have 1,000. The reason for that is just that spreads it around, and everyone's going to get it. And his point, and I want to add to that, definitely focus on the tight ends are going to get plenty of use and game time with that ball. That they better, okay? But Daniels loves tight ends. He's going to use them. And the running backs as well. And the running backs actually have I feel like we've been missing a little bit is hands that can catch the dang ball, okay? Our running backs are very interesting, and they have this ability to catch balls also. So I think that is no one's gonna hit 1,000 mark, and it's not that I'm betting against them in that way. It's just I agree with Wholesome. It's gonna be spread out around the whole team. There's still so much. If Enos does what he says and plays to his players personnel, which I believe he will, and you don't want to be a one-dimensional team. If Jeff Thomas, I wish him all the luck. I want him to have 1,000, 2,000 yards. He receives it all. But if Jeff Thomas has that, teams are going to know, okay, let's lock him down, this one-dimensional team. That's it. No one else can catch the ball. Then our running game is obviously easily stopped because then nobody's catching the ball, so then you got not a productive offense. I think for a productive offense, you can't have just one guy going over 1,000 yards. At least in Miami's style of play, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do that maybe in Oklahoma.
All right, I got one more question. I'm just going to go ahead and hang up the phone. Y'all can have a great night. What does everybody think about how Peyton Matoka is doing so far? If you think he's actually going to contribute, or is he just going to be set on the sideline because we got this other good quarterback that we've already got recruited coming to Miami? And that's it. And y'all have a great night.
Have a great night. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you so much calling in, man. You have a great evening, too, and we'll definitely hit that one off. Peyton Matocha. All right. You have a great evening, man. All right, so Peyton Matocha. No, I don't know. He better not. I'm sorry. Like,
redshirt season, yeah.
What we're talking about here, like three-way quarterback, if it was a two-way quarterback, I mean, maybe he could sneak in a pass or two against Savannah State type of level thing. I think we have between Cookman or something like that. I don't see that happening. I think it would be disrespectful, honestly, if the ball is not given to the quarterback that's, second or third string, but to Peyton. I think with what's been putting on, Jaron staying, not transferring, Tate transferring in, and Perry, what he's done for our program, I think it'd be honestly disrespectful to not let them, unless they're suspended or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play much.
All right, I got another caller in.
Yeah, keep them coming.
All right, we'll keep them coming. So this one's from Jacksonville, Florida.
Ooh, ball.
All right, whoever you are from Jacksonville, Florida, what's your name? Welcome to the New Skill Kane Show.
Hey, you got Kane for life on the line. What's going on, Antoine? What's going on, Paul? How y'all doing today? Kane,
hey,
what's
man,
up, brother?
we're doing great, man. We're doing awesome, man. What you want to talk about? What's your question for us, man?
The question I got is, if we start Tate Martell, okay, do we see the same shotgun offense with primarily shotgun, so we're not even getting the multiple looks? Yeah, we may get a few motion looks here and there,
But as far as if we start Nicole Terry, then you can run multiple sets. Single back ace, shotgun, spread. You can run an I formation, play action. But with Tate, you can't really run those looks. So we will be falling back into the same thing if we do go with the Tate Montreal package.
Okay. Paul, I'll let you start with this one since you're the Tate professional here.
Man, the coaching staff, they got to go with the quarterback who's going to give them the best opportunity to win week 1.
Right.
I truly do believe that is your Super Bowl. Week 1 is going – if you win week 1, you're just going to roll through the season. And figure it out after. Figure it out against – who do we play after? The UNCs, the Louisvilles, the Central Michigans, the Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah.
Figure out if whoever your guy is week 1 is your guy after week 5 until you hit Florida State. You'll figure it out there. But whoever's going to beat Florida week 1, whoever think who has the best chance of beating Florida, you go with that guy. You know, that is your Super Bowl. You let it all out that game.
Okay. So Paul says whoever the guy is week 1 to win, we're calling is our Super Bowl. That's the guy you got to win with. Whoever guy gives you the best winning ability. Wholesome, what's your thought on that?
Whoever this caller is, great football IQ. I'll tell you that much. That's some of what I've been thinking about. We would be a lot more limited with Tate Martell as our quarterback. We would have to basically be running like a Pac-12, Big Ten type of quarterback offense. And, you know, it'd be kind of cool to see who wouldn't love to see Miami in a spread triple option? You know, like
spread triple option. That may not be fun.
You know, like that would be nice to see. And what I mean by spread triple option is Oregon, Oklahoma.
Right.
I don't mean
Oregon, Oklahoma
Tech
style.
and shotgun.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You know, people would think that sounds good. You know, we do not know to the severity his arm strength. I think with Tate Martell, we will be hamstrung. If we have N'Kosi Perry, who can make all the NFL throws, I think that's the great position. He puts us in a position to where we could play under center, we could play pistol, we could play spread, you know, things of that nature. We can come in 22 personnel, 21 personnel. He can still play action off of all of that and still make throws. So yes, I do agree with what he said. That we will be hamstrung if we play Tate Martell. It might still be successful, which I do think with Danny Knows it will. But with N'Kosi Perry, I think we will be more multiple and still be able to attack teams deep and over the middle with no problem, and at the numbers with no problem because he has the arm to get the ball there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Tate brings a different kind of style. If we start him at Oregon, you know, type of offense, triple. But the thing is with Perry, you can have all sorts of formations. But like Paul said, the coaches know that. You know, he knows it makes your offense look different. But it's whoever gives you the win ability. You know, if Tate, even though he's the one-dimensionally shotgun, whatever formation, but if he possesses it so well, so great, and you know you're going to win, have confidence in that, giving him the start, I mean, that just shows to you that it just works so well. You know it's your bread and butter. But the other thing I was going to say, you know, you can't teach height. So Tate, the problem is with his, you know, shotgun formations is his height. I mean, Perry's the tallest quarterback on our team, I believe, even above Jaron by a good. Is it 2 inches at least he's got on him? I think he's like, what, 6'4", Perry is? 6'3"?
Mm-hmm. Perry's 6'4".
Jaron's about,
Jaron
what,
is 6'1.5".
Yeah, 6'1", 6'2".
Tate Martell is 5'7".
Tate Martell's 5'10", 5'11", not 5'7". But you can't teach...
I was listed at 5'10", 5'11", and I'm 5'9.25". Okay, let's be honest.
Miami Martell is 5'10".
Miami Martell is 5'10". Okay, we'll go with that. But
how do you know, Paul? Did you go to a spring game, Paul?
He went up, measured him up.
Miami Martell. It's like Spider-Man when he puts on that costume. Not Peter Parker anymore.
Okay. So when he puts on the
Martell
costume,
puts on the helmet. He's a
Miami Martell. That's great. So Miami Martell is equivalent of your Peter Parker. As soon as he puts on the suit, he's got an extra couple inches. But I will say he knows his weaknesses. You know, he's working on them. Whether or not, you know, he knows he's not going to put him in difficult situations. But I don't care. Gosh, Spider-Man is playing for Miami. Well, how did we get here, Paul? What? This got derailed so bad. Our poor caller here is like, I asked about, you know, if Tate's a better option. Y'all talking about Spider-Man. But I will say, I think Tate may be one-dimensional, is what you're saying. We all agree in the shotgun information, but that doesn't remove him being lethal. I mean, he was undefeated for all those seasons. Teams knowing he's that way. That is high school. I realize that, but he wasn't so highly regarded transferring to Miami because he's a useless player. I think he could be very proficient in college ball. I don't know if he can transfer over to the NFL with that kind of deal.
No, he won't play in the NFL.
But in the college kind of world, I think it's possible you could win that way. Whether this may be a hot take or not, but I think it'll take Perry's failure for Tate to become successful. Perry's going to have to basically start failing at what he does because he has multiple options for Tate to where he has that one option to win. Now, I'm not banking on Perry's failure in any kind of saying that Tate is garbage. I'm just saying it's kind of how it's turning out to be in a way, and it's how an offensive coach and the decision-making really process, pros and cons type of deal. I got another caller that is going on crazy on me. So I'm going to try to pick him up. I appreciate your calling in and asking about the quarterbacks. Someone from Los Angeles. Okay. Y'all go ahead and call in.
I appreciate you, fellas. I got one more question.
All right, go for it.
Ooh.
I'm going to let you guys go. Do you think Buddy Baker will sub more than Manny Diaz or less? Because last year we seen in certain situations when Manny Diaz had backup players in, such as Robert Knowles, backup linebackers in against the LSU game, and it cost us a 40-yard touchdown. Do you think Buddy Baker lead those guys in versus Florida State game? They don't even catch those 2 touchdowns with Robert Knowles not in the game.
Okay.
So do you think Buddy Baker keep Gervin Hall and Amari Carter guys that he trusts his first string guys there in certain situations more than Manny, or do Buddy Baker follow up on the Manny in certain situations and listen to Manny and go for his guidance?
Okay, great question. Hey,
I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Let you guys go. I know you got more callers. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Respect with y'all.
Thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you calling in, man. You have a great evening. We'll definitely hit that one
Have
off.
a good one, boss. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Nice. All right, y'all go ahead. Shoot it off, man. Y'all heard the man.
All right. Well, as a defensive guy, I believe I should go first.
Go for it.
I think him seeing what Manny Diaz did wrong as far as those wholesale subs, because there's a difference between keeping a player fresh and then, because when you do those wholesales, it's kind of like, I want to get you reps out there. I want to get you on the field, and I want to see what you can do when you're out there. There's a difference between that, and then there's like, hey, I want to sub in 2 guys, but I want to still leave in 9 starters and then sub out 2 guys as subs.
Right.
I think that's what Coach Baker is going to do. I think he's going to, like, if he subs the front 7, he's going to keep the starting back 4 in. If he subs 2 of the back 4, he's going to keep, the starting front 7 in. And then what he would also do is, let's say, for example, he subs out Gervin Hall. Well, guess who we have behind him, or maybe in front of him? Bubba Bolden, once he gets everything handled. So you throw Bubba Bolden out there, who has the size, speed, and athleticism to, if a play does break, if I'm subbing out a corner, he can come over the top and help to that side and be able to keep the play umbrellaed and keep him in front of him. And then, if we're in our 4-2-5 and the D-line depth, he could sub and probably get the same production at the D-line depth. Linebacker is where we will have problems. But then, if you take both Shaq and Pickney off the field, who do you turn to? Who's calling the plays? Who's doing putting people in position? So I don't think he'll do those wholesale, switches. I think he'll do 1 or 2 players at one position, maybe 3 players at a position and sub. You'll have different packages as opposed to just do all 11 run off and a whole second team runs on the field. Because our second team, honestly, a lot of our second team players aren't ACC, as Paul would say, ACC caliber players.
Okay. Paul, what you think?
I completely agree. I specifically remember LSU when we did, when we rotated our players, and I think Coach Diaz had too much confidence in his backups and then realized we're not there yet.
Very next play, yo.
Yeah, literally. Against Florida, I don't think you'll see a lot of rotation, specifically at linebacker. We can do that with the defensive line all day.
Right.
Maybe to a certain extent with our defensive backs. Not really. So I think against ACC Coastal opponents like UNC, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, you can use them, and then gain their trust against Virginia, Virginia Tech, and then Florida State. You're going all out. You're going all in. You better play every snap that game. So, yeah, that's where I do see mass subbing, like Wholesome said, wholesale. So,
yeah, wholesale resubbing. But I like what you said, what you mentioned, the amount of experience, basically, that you want on the field. You don't want to be taking all of it out on the front and the back end at the same time. You want to be doing it different, but at the same time, you want to keep your bodies fresh, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I have callers going crazy on me, so I think that previous question was answered. I'm going to let this caller be unmuted, and then we'll have one last special caller for the end of the night. All right, Who do we have on the phone line here?
It's Mr. HD.
Hey, Mr. HD, sorry to keep you waiting, man. I appreciate you calling, man.
Welcome to the show, Mr. HD.
Which quarterbacks you guys were rolling with this year? I think I'm going to roll with number 5 this year.
Okay, quarterbacks are
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You got a smart caller.
I just think the 2 years he's been at Miami, I don't think he's been fully coached to his abilities yet. I think with his height and his arm strength, and he could run if he's under pressure. I just think the last 2 years he hasn't really been able to show that because of the bad coaching. So
yeah, I'm with you. That's a great point that you brought up. And again, you'll be able to hear me, but not Paul or Wholesome if you don't have YouTube on the side. But yeah, he's bringing up a point, guys, that basically Perry's got this athleticism and talent, but where the coaching staff been at? They have not been fine-tuning his abilities. And the previous Rick Jr., I mean, what does he have on his resume to say that I can teach any Division I quarterback to play ball? Yeah, that's a very valid point.
I just think he hasn't really gotten a fair shake of things because him and Malik they wouldn't know they were starting until like a day before game day, I think.
Right. Yeah. The starting is
confidence and reps with the first team and build some confidence with the offense. You keep switching and not telling which quarterback's starting. So, I don't know, it's kind of annoying. Last year was very upsetting to see.
Yeah.
So I just hope, Dan Enos, I think it's the biggest recruit we got this season. I think he's really going to take this offense to another level. As long as we have that consistent QB play and consistent O-line play, I think the rest of the ball online will be good.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mr. HD. I'm definitely with you. It's possibly the greatest recruit we got this offseason, and it's going to be exciting to see him and how he fully utilizes all the powers that this offense has. And it was difficult to see last year. The decision-making was dividing the team, first the offense amongst themselves, and then that making them unproductive, making the defense go at odds with the offense. It was just... the communication is not there, and we didn't know who was the starter, like you said, 1 day or two. And even as you said it, I think it was on the Orange Bowl Boys, he was like, look, I may have been the quarterback and they may have pulled me start, but I didn't care as long as it was consistent with this is the guy and roll with it. He was like, I wouldn't have even been hurt if it wasn't me. Like, just it was difficult to build chemistry, with the whole team, whoever it was. Like, we were put at a disadvantage. And he was trying to say this, in a unbiased kind of way. Of course you want to be started, but he's exactly right, and I don't think in our offensive system right now that Enos is going to be flip-flopping around or Diaz is and issuing and they're going to have clear communication with the quarterbacks. That's going to be very huge for this competition, I think. If these players, they put their all and they put their time to this program, the least the coaches can do is be respectful and be fully clear in the communication of what's going on. And, hey, you didn't win the job, but this is what you can do to be competing. And, hey, if he goes down, next man up type of thing, don't be wasting your time. Paul, go ahead, what you think, and I'll let Wholesome knock it loose and crazy because he definitely loving what Mr. J is pulling up here about Perry.
I couldn't really hear that well. It was like bits and pieces, so... can you kind of re-summarize what happened?
Yeah, basically he's saying...
Absolutely. He said that number 5 is the best quarterback on the roster. Y'all not understanding that this is what he is. He's been undercoached. He has the highest ceiling. He has the most ability. And he doesn't understand why you all are not understanding that. That's what I
heard. A little wholesome translation there. But, in essence, yeah.
Hey, if you can prove to me that you can be an SEC opponent, you have my all respect, and I will literally back you as a quarterback. But until then, until we can beat, that SEC opponent, the Clemson, win that big game. I mean, it's still, like I said, it's still not what the new Miami is. We'll see what happens. Whoever the coaching staff picks, I will back up 110%. But they need to beat that SEC team that we can't get over that hump.
I'll tell you one thing I'd love to see. Eno's dealt with last year with throwing in Hurts for the second half and Tua for the first half. Wouldn't it be great if we just rolled through our pathetic schedule and threw in a Perry first half and a Tate second half? Then we could all be happy and just, go on our merry way. And you can say whoever the starter is, but let's be real, both got half and half game time, Little imaginative thinking there. But hey, Enos knew who the guy was to put in the year 2 after Tua went out. And in putting out Hurts like that, that's a tough call and decision to make. So Enos thankfully has experience with this difficult decision that he has of having a good problem, too much talent in a quarterback room of who gets the game time, and coaching them up to make sure they're the most perfect guys. By the way, Hurts, like I said, wasn't being useless. His completion percentage went up huge numbers. He was not just sliding around. I mean, Alabama, he won that SEC championship for them because he was waiting for it. That could be Miami as well. If Tate doesn't get the starting job, or Perry doesn't, or Jaron doesn't, they're going to reap huge benefits of being under Dan Enos right now and perfecting their skill set while the other guy being maybe number one. Now, Wholesome, the floor is yours. Let us know how Perry has been undercoached, and he's the man.
Listen, it's to the point where I'm beating a dead horse. And like I said earlier, there's no need to bash Tate, no need to bash Jer Williams. But the guy who has been undercoached, misrepresented, taking all the flack, hated on the most. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Some people hate Tate, but this fan base, for some reason, shows the worst. Either it's tough love or it's hate when it comes to Coach Perry. I don't get to it. I don't personally understand it. But at the end of the day, you get a guy. Let me ask you all this: based on Jalen Hurts and Coach Perry, who do you think was the better quarterback after their freshman year? Just off the top of your head, quarterback position.
Better. Hold on. Rephrase that again. Better quarterback Hurts or Perry after first year?
Hurts. Yeah, Hurts or Perry.
After their first year.
Who's the better quarterback?
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts.
Exactly. He was already at a solid national championship playing level.
Sure.
Dan Enos comes in and makes him 15% better at his completion rate.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of people get on here, and 63% completion percentage is, at any point, is that solid? Is that good? You guys think 63% would be good for this season for Perry?
Anything close to 60%, you're going to go with maybe 2 losses if you have a 60% quarterback.
Do you know that his completion percentage was 50 last year, and that, of course, you had those bad drops that I keep talking about because people seem to ignore them. And you've seen with a similar type quarterback what Dan Enos has done in the SEC. And now all he has to do is do what he did there, if not better, against ACC competition. To me, I wouldn't say it's a no-brainer because Jaron could come out of nowhere and go lights out.
Yes, sir. About time.
We can't.
Yeah.
Tate Martell could come in and we can't catch him in practice. And he's throwing slants that go 60. He'll turn around and do a read option fake, and he breaks 80 up the field against the first-team defense. You never know. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Any guy can work out for sure.
You never know what could happen.
We don't.
But I will say this, and I will end it with this. And I like talking quarterback, but it's getting a bit much to this point. It'll be the conversation up until August 24th. But at the end of the day, I want to see the best Tate Martell. I want to see the best Jer Williams. I want to see the best N'Kosi Perry. You want to know why? Because for 3 weeks, if I can get your ceiling for 3 weeks, and you come out of that battle as number one, I know for a fact that it was fair. You earned it, and you brought the best out of the other two men that were in this competition, and you rose above them.
Definitely. Couldn't have said it better. Hey, Mr. Ishii, I appreciate you so much calling in, and great conversation, and very great points that we should have brought up for a quarterbacks conversation, man. You have a great evening, man, and I'll try to pick up another caller, man, but I appreciate you calling in and chatting in every show, man. You've been supporting us since day one, man.
Okay.
All right, good night. All right, so, guys, I have one other thing, but I'm going to need to have, us three got to have a private conversation here. So we're going to mute us, and we'll come right back because I got to, I'm going to maybe do something kind of crazy. Maybe not. We might have a very special kind of caller coming in. I might allow them. Maybe not. Give me a second. Okay, guys, we have just had a conversation. I know y'all didn't hear you. I know y'all can still hear us. I muted us. I don't know what y'all did. But regardless. But I think hold some thought. George, you can call in. I will let your phone line go through.
Come on, George. Come on through. Put him up, George. Come on
up. We're gonna
you better come with it. You better come with it. I'm on edge. I'm gonna go through this phone.
Where we all can hear each other. Hey, keep talking. Let me see if I can hear you on this.
Come on, George.
Is it gonna work?
Come talk your crazy gator talk. I'm finna go crazy.
You gonna go crazy.
On live YouTube.
George, call in and I'll let you this time. I'll pick up the phone line. I'm waiting for
George.
The
Come on. Let's go.
You said you want to call in. We're ready. We have let you this time. We've come in agreement. He's not calling. He's scared.
Yeah, I done start barking. That's what happens when the big dogs start barking. People get scared.
George is too scared to call. Oh, man.
George, let's go.
All right.
Hey, I'm
gonna call.
Come on.
I'm ready for you, George.
Come on, George.
You got three K's over here. Get on them. I'm waiting, man. I got the phone line cleared. I'm not letting anyone call except for George calling. Come on, George. He says he's calling.
And don't come with that. Oh, I love Miami.
Oh,
No. Come on.
I hope Miami wins every game except for Florida and plays us again.
Oh, I respect Miami. No. Stand in the paint. Let's go.
All right. Let me guess who's on the phone line here. Is this George? Can you hear us loud and clear?
Yes, George.
Oh, man. All right, George.
That's what I'm waiting on. Come on.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great, loud and clear. Wholesome Paul can hear you. I don't know if you got YouTube on the side there. You can hear them. What do you got for us, George? You got 3 Ks that are ready to bite you off.
I'm trying to talk in my serious Gator voice here.
Oh, that exists?
Anyway, man, Jesus, this game just can't come fast enough. I don't even know how to explain it. I've been alive since 1960. Football means everything to me. College football, and this is the best game in like 10 years or something. Let's go, Florida, Miami. Oh my God.
I'm with you, George. I'm with you, August 24th. But y'all gonna have to back up that trash talk. Y'all been talking too much garbage of y'all running away with this game. I don't want to hear this nice fancy talk, man. If this gonna be such a big game, there ain't no way it's gonna be a runaway by one team or another, man. You know we're gonna bring up the fight. Y'all are gonna be for a surprise.
Anything can happen in college football.
Oh, yeah, sure. We could always say that, man. But I'm telling you, man, these Hurricanes, there's only one thing that's going to happen to them August 24th. You know what that is, George, right?
What?
You're going to see this turnover chain all around so much, you're going to be sick in your stomach puking, man. You better stay at home for that game because there's going to be so much puke. Yes,
That's
sir.
your only hope. And, Dan Mullen knows that's your only hope. So I'm pretty sure
That's our
he'll
only
run
hope.
football.
Hey, that was our only hope last year, but we got a Diaz up at head coach and Enos on the OC. That ain't our only hope because this chain is going to be on the other side of the football now. The offense is going to have a change too, and you're going to be seeing touchdown after touchdown, and you're going to be sick of hearing turnover chains. I promise you.
I'm not even a football coach, and we could just clink and dink you to death the whole game. You'll never have a chance at the turnover. We'll just keep doing 3 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards, You're not going to get the ball.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. I mean, fumbles can happen, whatever. But y'all, if y'all are gonna go 3 to 5, 3 yards, y'all not gonna have a chance in this game, George. Come on, man. Come on.
If our quarterback can throw it 80 yards, you're going to have to cover the whole field. So those 3 and 5 yards
Felipe
are really
Franks?
8 and 9 yards.
George, Franks. Come on, you're gonna keep talking to me about Felipe Franks? I don't understand, man. Look, I'm never gonna tell you that whatever our previous quarterback was the greatest man of all time. I'd be serious. Look, I know his inabilities. Franks is no Heisman winner. We both know that. He ain't gonna be throwing this ball perfectly 80 yards against our secondary. Come on, man. Franks.
I'm doing positive thinking on him. I'm going to work it out, man. You've heard the power of positive thinking, right?
Okay, all right, yeah, he's going to need a lot of positive thinking to it, because as far as I'm hearing from the Florida camp, it's a 50-50 on if he's going to even start possibly. They could see a wild card and losing the camp.
Right, he might be in trouble. We might start Jones or Trask. You don't know.
Oh, man. Wholesome's got his back turned around to you right now. I want you to know that. I don't know if you see it. He is disappointed, man. You won't even look at
I wish we played you the first game every year so bad.
Oh, man. Why y'all scared? We keep calling y'all. Y'all don't want to play us. What's up with that?
Y'all don't want to step in the paint. That's what it is. Scared. Your athletic director is scared. And your whole fan base is scared to play the University of Miami.
We don't need the risk of losing an important game. We don't have to. We're already playing enough good teams. We're going to go to the playoff if we win our shit,
You don't need the risk of playing good game. But come on, man. Like, everyone can get a cake schedule and win it all out. What's the fun in that, though? Like, I mean, if you be the best, you gotta beat the best.
Maybe we could play you 1 year and FSU the next year, and you 1 year and FSU the next year. Maybe we could work that out. I don't know.
Man, I'm all down for us playing the Gators every year, but I don't know what's going on with them not wanting to call and play us. I don't know what's up with that. But
I think they should pass a law in Florida that we all have to play each other every year, and throw UCF in there too, and USF for that matter.
George, you know why y'all won't play us, right? You know why y'all won't call and play us every year?
You can't play everybody. That's because you can't play everybody. And plus, I think we did it just to fuck you, just to say fuck you. We took you off our schedule because you needed us. We didn't need you. We're a Southeastern Conference school, and you lost your only quality opponent, really.
You just say the only quality opponent.
In our home stadium all the time.
We lost the quality opponent. George, were you watching last time we played? What was the NFL season? We didn't lose a quality opponent.
What I've ever been to in Florida was when Vinny Testaverde beat us in our own stadium, and we should have won the game. It was just a sorry Gator game. It's horrible. And I was like, damn. And then I moved to Oregon. I've never been back. I was at a spring game once, and I saw Cam Newton come in for Tebow at the end of the game, and I turned to my brother and said, why isn't that guy starting? Like, he's 10 times better than Tebow. I didn't even know his name was Cam Newton. I was like, who is that guy? Like, what the hell? How's Tebow the starter?
Look, I mean,
I found out later who it was.
Yeah, I'm telling you though, dude, y'all are not ready for what's coming. Y'all are not ready for what's coming, and
I feel the same way about you. I don't know how you're so confident, man. I'm nervous. I'm a little bit scared. I've said this publicly on Uncle Lou and Bobby Durkins. I'm nervous. I used to be more confident, but you guys are acting like, you're so confident. Like, why?
Because we know we're not the 7-6 team that we were, and we're seeing the Feely effect, and we're seeing the staff in place, the unity, and the locker room of how it is together. And I'm looking on the other side of the Florida game, and I'm like, what do they do? Because I know our best game is going to be put on week 0. That's why I'm confident. I don't know if y'all can say the same. Because y'all always keep talking about SEC championship playoffs.
I can understand y'all being confident.
look, the shit I read, the shit I see, I watch the shows, I read the shit. I mean, it looks pretty good for Lions. We went from 4-8 to 10-3, so I see no way that you're not at least 10-2. You know, I just see no way.
Okay.
You look good. You look good. It's gonna piss me off if you drop that game to Syracuse or Pittsburgh or whoever you play, Boston College, all these middle of the road teams. I hope you keep
That's a
the,
point.
the attitude all year long, game after game.
Yeah, we definitely need to keep the attitude year long, regardless of what happens week 0. I'm with you. I mean, I don't want to see some Boston College or Duke or Virginia
It's
issues.
easy
Pitt,
to get up
especially.
for Florida. It's hard to get up for Boston College and Georgia Tech and Syracuse. You know, nobody even cares almost about those games. America's not watching that game like they're going to watch this one.
Oh yeah, man, I can't
and
wait.
that's the great thing about being a Gator, man. We get this shit all year long. LSU, Georgia, anybody, even Kentucky.
You lose all of
You
them.
know, Missouri. These are interesting games. Y'all need to fix your schedule.
Well, how about y'all fix y'all schedule
So
and
your
put us
players
on the
are
schedule so
excited.
y'all can take a
You need
big
to get
L
some
first week of the
on your
season?
schedule. Pick a couple hard games every year and throw it in there.
Look, we were trying to fix our schedule and calling up y'all and saying nothing. So what we did is last year we start with LSU. This year we start with y'all. We got Alabama coming up, and then Michigan State, the same season, all that. I don't know what y'all.
I take my hat on it to you. Good job. That's what I'm talking about. You need to keep doing that, man.
Hey,
and your team's just going to get better and better. You know.
Hey, there's no issue with our schedule now. You know, I mean, we're tied to our conference as it is. A conference got to get its play up. That's not up to us, but we gotta just smash through this conference and show that we're not on that level. And like you said, I definitely don't want to see different kind of attitude after the Florida game for Miami. But man, y'all ain't ready for this chain. Y'all are not ready August 24th. Y'all are not ready for August 24th, man.
Can you imagine if we play a close game and you beat Clemson if we get to play again in the playoffs? Can you pull that off?
Can we pull up? George, y'all are not going to be in no playoff after y'all lose to us. Y'all ain't going to be in no playoff.
We have the best starting 22 in the Southeastern Conference. The Gators have no respect for Georgia, Alabama. Dan Mullen's our coach. We're just like Miami. We're all high on ourselves, you know?
All right, George, man. I hope you have a great evening, man. I'll see you August 24th.
I can't even predict the score anymore. I just want to win by 1 point. I don't care.
Yeah, good luck, man.
See you later, Ben.
All right, man.
Bye.
And he's gone.
Oh, God almighty.
Well, that was a pansy as Florida Gator call I expected, man.
That's what I expect. And that's the type of, and see, this is the crazy part. And I'm just going to say this, I don't care about the repercussions. That's the type of energy that's on Gator Breakdown. We're just, we're going to go out here and play our game.
Gosh.
And y'all play y'all game and see how it go. I don't care. That was horrible.
I don't know how you could.
I was expecting to have to go outside because my mom's trying to sleep. I was expecting to have to go outside and cut them a new one. But instead, y'all sat there and had a nice little talk.
We all rubbed each other's backs and said how great college football is. Man, it ain't gonna be that way August 24th though. It is not gonna be that way August 24th. Paul, what y'all think there's gonna be fights in the seats?
I'm having one. I'm telling you right now. I'm having one. You better find me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man, he's gonna have his squad pull up and ready.
Depends how the seating is. If it's like Miami on one half, Florida on the other half, it kind of takes that away, like they do when Texas plays Oklahoma, Florida, Georgia. But if the seating is there like a mixed section, yeah, there'll be fights, absolutely. Especially if the game's if it's not a close game, definitely more fights.
And SEC fans, they be leaving in the third quarter when they still have a chance, but they don't believe in the team because they're just used to always winning. Man, I've been those Gators, as soon as they start losing on that scoreboard by more than 2 touchdowns, you're going to start seeing them leave their seats. Time and time out again. Yeah.
I hope so.
Say the same about Tallahassee fans, because I remember when Bama put the wood to them, they should have scored way more points. But anyway, when Bama scored like that, the go-ahead touchdown in the third quarter to make it 17-6, they all started like literally. You could see like 10,000 people get up and just.
Oh yeah.
It was empty. Their side was empty at the end of the stadium. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna say that about them, Miami has to show up.
Yeah. We should not have
You know,
people
I was
sitting in the
talking-
seats for a Virginia game. They should be left because they know it's 50-0.
And you know, at the end of the day, I was talking to Alonzo about this before, and it's like, hey, I love home games. I love home field advantage, but it's nothing like looking at an away game and seeing a whole bunch of orange in the stands. Like, sit and think about it. When Miami plays Georgia Tech, and a lot of people from Miami moved to Georgia at some point in their life, and especially Atlanta.
Yes,
It
sir.
looks like it could be like a 50-50
Yes, sir.
stadium.
I'm
There's a
telling
lot
you,
of Miami
it is.
Hurricanes.
It is. I
at
get
the-
my gang up there, man. It is. It's great. It's like, where are y'all at in real life, though?
But at the same time, we need that energy in these you know, just like the LSU game. Louisiana is a lot closer to Texas than it is to Florida.
Oh, but we showed up.
But we had an amazing show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We just didn't show up on the field, but we had a lot of fans come in, especially because we had just came off of a 10-win season, a whole bunch of preseason hype. And I personally think that Florida is us 2017. Good defense, solid quarterback.
I see resemblances. What, Paul? You don't think so?
I mean, I hope so. I think Malik Rozier was pretty bad at quarterback. I think Felipe Franks is a lot better. Just go off his arm. I hope so. I really do. Because if we're wrong about this game, man, it's going to be interesting what happens. I just hope we win because this is a huge game.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, I feel like it's a pivotal one for a program. It's
a must win.
Yeah.
It is a must win.
For the next 5 years,
you
like
tell
this
me-
is a statement.
If you tell me Miami wins this game, and as much as it pains me to say it, but we lose to Florida State, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'll take it.
I
It
don't, see, I
hurt.
don't see how that happens, but I'm with you.
Right, it hurts, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you get that early season success, and like I said, it pains me to say this out loud. I hate Tallahassee, but for a national view of the program, nobody else relevant is on besides Arizona and Hawaii. No one's watching that game. For Miami to go on and win a nationally televised game for the first time since 2017, that would do dividends for the program.
Yeah.
And yeah, we 8 weeks later, let's say we take an L to Tallahassee, which I would hate so much because I hate that school more than I hate Satan. But you take that L, you can chalk it up to, okay, that's our one loss. Let's put our heads together and get ready for Clemson 2-3 weeks later. And then think about it, after Florida State, we have teams like Louisville, FIU, and Duke. So those are opportunities to pull it all together and get ready for Clemson.
Definitely. I expect, as like I said, Diaz is going to shine in a game spot moment. What if it be the Gators game coming up? He's going to have at least, I think, 2 more teams after that, FSU and then ACC championship game. I expect him to make a showing for one of those. He's got to keep these recruits. He's got this recruiting class going in a direction that we haven't seen in a while this well with what a 7-6 season. He's got to do one of those show-off statement wins, and I expect him to. I really do, because his defense won us the spotlight games that we've seen before. It started,
Period.
he knows exactly what to do for that, and so he knows his fully capable hands. I see no reason why we should doubt him. I expect us fully to win one of those. I can't wait, man. August 24th, fall camp's coming up. It is, 3 days away. 2 days to report, and 3 days we start talking ball. And they're playing their games, I heard, at night and in the mornings, Friday and Saturday? Or practices, excuse me.
I thought it was both at night, but I could be wrong.
Both, what's that?
Both scrimmages are at night.
Both are at night scrimmage. Well, I'm not talking
Yeah, I heard
scrimmages. I'm
about
saying
that.
practice, though. Is one I heard about the first.
Practice.
Okay. Yeah, so y'all keep your ears listening and open. We're going to be putting a whole bunch of content once that's come because we've been itching and scratching. Guys, is there anything else y'all want to talk on and hit off before we summarize this night? Because we're about to hit 2 hours now.
I'm good.
Paul? All right. Wholesome?
Yeah, nothing.
I will say this. Tonight had its ups and downs. It flowed, but I know I speak for everybody and say thank you all. This is our first time being able to do call-ins, and we've seen what it has done for the channel. Especially over here on Anton's channel. Doing New School Canes. This episode now, we've been doing it for 2.5 months now. It's been a great experience. I truly appreciate every single one of you all that come, in the live stream. We've been hovering at 77, peaked at like 86, 90. Those are highs for us. And moving into the season, things will get even better. Um, just keep showing up and hit the like button when you get an opportunity. And don't forget, man, support our solo channels also. Of course, you're already here on Miami Hurricanes Times channel. But there's the thing, be a part of the notification squad. It means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Go over to Paul's channel on Miami Hurricanes Talk, subscribe, and be a part of the notification squad. Come to my channel to host someone. Because all three of us bring something different to the table. And that's why we had this great idea of putting it together and putting out a great show as a unit. Um, we will prepare you all for August 24th. We'll do a special season breakdown. Keep an eye out for that over the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
But we're about 24 hours away from a month away from kickoff time. This time tomorrow, we would have already been a couple quarters into the game.
Yeah.
And we are all super excited about it. And if we're excited about it and we're not strapping up, you can only imagine what the Canes and even the Gators to a certain extent are excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'll end it off with that. Yet again, thank you all so much. And at the end of the day, it's always about you.
Yes, sir.
Canes.
Okay.